Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I want to welcome you all specially to this awesome presentation organized by Becoming the Greatest You Academy. BGY Academy is the #1 personal development, skill acquisition, youth empowerment leadership, and public speaking platform in Africa. And the mission is very simple: to help you become the absolute best version of yourself, to help you be everything that God wants you to be. Ladies and gentlemen, in the words of Jim Rohn, your level of success can hardly exceed your level of personal development, because success is not something that you perceive, it is something that you attract based on the person you are becoming. What this means is that personal development is one of the most important things you must pursue on a daily basis if you want to succeed in every aspect of your life. BGY Academy, ladies and gentlemen, is that academy that helps you build yourself, and not just financially, but physically, mentally, emotionally, and even spiritually. Ladies and gentlemen, BGY Academy is that academy that helps you to let go of all the enemies of success, like laziness, procrastination, comfort zone, and indiscipline, inconsistencies that has limited you and kept you on the spot for too long. And then BGY helps you to replace it with all the skills, all the habits, and all the routines and the mindset of the most successful people in the world. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ife Oluwa Ogunjobi, and it's such a great honor and privilege to serve as your MC for this occasion. I am a proud BGY Academy student, and being in BGY has increased my level of confidence. And not only that, my perception levels has increased. I am no more a draggy reader and able to set clearer goals and work towards achieving them. Ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we are going to delve into tonight's presentation. Before we begin, I crave your indulgence to please put yourself in a learning condition. If possible, put your cameras on so that you can interact with the speaker. Get your pen and paper in order to track better what you will be learning tonight, which I'm very sure will change your entire life. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a distinct pleasure for me to introduce this amazing, awesome, fearless, intelligent, visionary, phenomenal leader. I lack words to actually introduce this great man. He is a leadership and personal growth coach. He's a foreign language expert. He speaks 4 different languages: English, French, Italian, Spanish fluently. Founder of BGY, Becoming the Greatest You Academy, an international businessman, an interpreter, official interpreter of the Italian Embassy in Abuja, and also one of the most sought out French interpreters in the whole of Nigeria. He is for us our coach, mentor, and founder of BGY. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the moment you have all been waiting for. Please, if it's not too much to ask, let's make do and welcome Coach Casey Sunshine.
Okay, good evening, everybody. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful people from all over the world. It's so good to see your faces, your shining and brilliant faces once again. Thank you, Lady Ife, for that wonderful emceeing. Good evening, everybody. I hope you all had a beautiful week and now you're enjoying an amazing weekend. It's always a pleasure to be here with you all. I could see on the chat that some people are saying that they could not hear the MC speaking. I assume that it is your audio, so you might want to check your audio settings because I could hear her clearly. Good evening, Lady Anita. Good evening, everyone connected on this platform. It's good to see your faces once again. And I believe that tonight we're going to have an amazing evening together. To all the parents connecting on Zoom, on YouTube, all our beautiful, shining children, I love you all so much, and I'm always happy to share with you. Okay, so we've taken so much time already, almost 10, 11 minutes just for emceeing. That has to be a new record. Okay, we've wasted a lot of time, so we're going to delve straight into the subject matter for today. Where do I begin from? I think I'm going to begin with a question. I want to see your faces, so I'm going to change my view. Let me know whose camera is on. And those of you that have your cameras off, you know that when you do that, you're looking for my trouble because you cannot truly get the best if your cameras are off. Put on your camera, let's interact so that you can get the absolute best from this meeting. Get your pen and paper, sit down in a good learning condition. Get your pen and paper, take down notes, and then interact. That's the best way if you want to get the best from this meeting. But if you just put off your camera and you're doing other things, you might as well just leave because it would be a waste of time. All right, so my first question before I give you the topic is this. There are two very important dates in life. There are two very important dates in life. Who would like to tell me what those dates are? The two very important dates in the life of any man. Can anybody tell me? I'm not going to ask you to unmute. If you know those dates, just write it down on the chat. Of course, I'm not asking you to specifically tell me a date like 1st of January or anything like that. No, there are two very important days. I think I should use days, not dates. There are two very important days in the life of any human being. Can you write on the chat? What do you think those 2 days are? I'm waiting to get your responses. If anybody is here with me. Okay, Adeyemo Adeola says the day that you were born and the day that you die. Date of birth and date of death. Okay, your birthday, Claudia Jerry. Lily Sarah says date of birth and the day that you die. The day you are born and the day that you die. Okay, looks like we all agree on the same thing. Your birthday and your death day. Can I get 2 more responses? So Miracle has responded. Thank you all so much for those of you responding. The day you're born and the day that you die. Rebecca Noah's response. Okay, this is amazing. Thank you so much. Your birthday from Ayotunde Ayedotu. If I murdered your name, please forgive me. Your birth date and then the day that you die. Fantastic. Okay, so who would like to hear my response? If you want to hear my response, let me see your hands up. The day you're born and the day that you die. If you want to hear my response to this question, can I see your hands up? Okay, fantastic. So as far as I am concerned, so this is very personal. So this is not to say that what you said is not correct. As far as Coach Casey is concerned, the 2 most important days in the world of any man is not the day that you were born and the day that you die. No. If you have this mindset that the 2 most important days in your life is the day you were born and the day that you will die, wow. On a very personal level, I feel there's a problem. Okay, the 2 most important days in anybody's life is the day you were born. I agree with that. But then the day that you find out why, that is the second most important day in your life. The day you were born and the day you find out why. Why were you born? Why are you here? What is your purpose? What is What are you meant to do in this world? God didn't just throw you into this universe for that, just for the sake of throwing you in. No, there's a specific reason why you're here. If you live your entire life not knowing why, and your next most important day is the day you die, you would have wasted the entire life. And that is why the day you die becomes unimportant as long as you discover why you were born. So there are two important days, and I insist that this is personal: the day you were born and the day you find out why. The day you find out why. So many persons go through life never realizing why they were here. They come into life, once upon a time they were children, being bossed around by their parents, being told what to do and what not to do. And then they became teenagers, and then all body parts started to grow. And before you know it, they started to disobey their parents. And then eventually they get into the university, and then they finish school. And once they finish school, they get a job. And once they get a job, they get married. And once they get married, they start to make children. And after they make children, what's the next thing now? After they make children, they make a lot of money, and then they travel around the world. Hopefully everybody can enjoy that at least. And then one day they die. And then what do you think is going to happen when you go through life like this? You know, when we die, usually they write the day that we're born. If you look at people's, if you go to cemeteries, they write the day the people were born, and then they write the day that they die. Now, in between the date of birth and the date of death and the death date, there's always a hyphen, isn't it? There's a dash. Let me use a word that everyone understands. There's a dash, right? That dash is pregnant. That dash carries a lot of words, because in between those two dates, it's a very big question mark. What did you do with that life that was given to you? What did you do? Did you just live life conforming to societal pressures on how life should be lived, or did you live it finding your purpose? And that's why today we're going to be sharing about mindset. We're going to be sharing about mindset. It's not going to be a very long sharing. Why did I choose this topic? It was a very late pick. I had picked that topic since 1 week, but I don't know why. In the last 1.5 hours to this conference, God just imprinted in my spirit to speak about mindset. I still don't know why, but hopefully it is for somebody here, even if it's just one person. Mindset, 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 mindset. All right. And when I thought about how to approach this topic, the response that was given to me as to how to introduce this topic is to talk about the two most important days: the day you were born and the day you find out why. Now, if you connected to this platform right now listening to me and you still don't know why you were born, I don't care whether you're an 8-year-old or a 38-year-old, please pay close attention, because until you find out why you're here, you would have wasted an entire life, because there's a why. There's a big why you were sent here. Every single one of us, not just Barack Obama, not just Nelson Mandela, not just Coach Casey. Everyone has a why. Everyone was birthed into this world with a specific why. There's a reason you're here, otherwise you won't be here. There's a purpose you're here to fulfill. There's a seed given to you. You're meant to transform into fruits. I've said that several times. I'm not going to go into the seed and fruit topic. There's a why. And one thing that is going to fast track the process of finding your why is building an excellent mindset. So as a matter of fact, the topic is meant to be personal development. It's just a subtopic that I'm delving on, which is mindset. Because when we come in, most times we don't pay attention to the greatest asset that God has given to us, which is what is actually meant to lead us to discovering our why. Now, the moment you were born, from the moment you were born, you begin to listen to who first? Your parents, isn't it? And the people around you, your parents, your siblings, they begin to talk to you. You begin to learn from the things that they're saying. And now, as they are telling you these things, as they're saying these things, consciously or unconsciously, you begin to form what you call a mindset. You begin to be programmed. By the time you're 7, you already have a pattern to your programming, but it doesn't stop there. Now, as you continue growing, you have a mindset. Just like the word mindset, it means that your mind is set in a particular pattern. So you have a particular pattern of thinking. Someone is asking for the topic, mindset. A particular pattern of thinking, a particular pattern of feeling, a particular pattern of reacting, a particular pattern of doing things. Now, this mindset is what is eventually going to determine the quality of your life. That is why it is not just important, it is the greatest asset that you have, your mind. So when God gave birth to you, when God bettered you, he gave you a mind. And he said that this mind that you have is what's going to help you transform your fruits, your seed into fruits. This mind is what's going to help you to find your why, based on what you let into it, based on how you transform it, based on how you build it. So the mind is like a muscle that you build on a daily basis. We build our mind based on the information we let into it on a daily basis. Okay? So the quality of our lives is a reflection of the quality of our minds. If you've listened to me long enough, I'm sure that you would have heard me say that severally. The quality of our lives is a reflection of the quality of our minds. And so your mind is an extraordinary, this is what I have on the screen. Your mind is an extraordinary fertile garden. It will grow any seeds that are planted and watered and will give you abundant harvests of the same. Don't forget that these seeds have to be planted first. It means that your mind cannot give you an abundance of what is not planted. It's only what is planted that it gives you an abundance of. That thing has to be planted first of all. So I repeat, your mind is an extraordinary fertile land. It grows any seeds that are planted and watered and will give you abundant harvest of what? Of what is planted. True or true? So these seeds represent everything you allow into your mind. And so that's why we have the conscious and the subconscious mind. Your conscious mind it represents the soil where you're allowing things into. Your subconscious mind represents, your conscious mind represents the seeds you're planting. Your subconscious mind represents the soil. So whatever you plant into the soil is what comes out, isn't it? Is it possible for you to plant, what's it called now? Can you plant maybe granules and then harvest beans? It's impossible. The only reason you're harvesting, or the only reason that beans are sprouting, is because they were planted. True or true? So it means that you can plant a grain of corn, just one, and that grain of corn is the conscious mind. But does a grain of corn give you back just a grain of corn as well when the harvesting period comes? It doesn't. It gives you an abundance of corn. True or true? You planted just one grain of corn. It doesn't give you an abundance of beans. It doesn't give you an abundance of orange. It gives you an abundance of just one grain of corn that you had planted. This is how amazing our mind is. So the conscious mind is the seed, the subconscious mind is the soil. Whatever you plant into it is what sprouts, is what grows, is what transforms into massive fruits. So from the moment we're born at very young ages, what we begin to do is that we'll begin to plant a lot of things. We plant. Each time you tell your child, you're stupid, you cannot amount to anything, you are annoying, what is wrong with you? You are planting. True or true? Hello? You are what? You are planting. It's a seed and it must germinate. When you plant on your children, when you tell them you're amazing, God bless you, I love you, it's a seed. Is it true or true? I know the children are very happy now. They are looking for what they will tell mommy later. Okay, but that's not the point. I'm getting somewhere. I want us to pay attention. So when you plant self-confidence, when you plant self-confidence, it's a seed. When you plant depression, it's a seed. When you plant bad food habit, it's a seed. When you plant too much sleep, it's a seed. Every single action you take is a seed that is being planted into the soil of your subconscious mind that will certainly germinate. But it will not germinate in the quantity at which you plant. It will germinate in what? In abundance. It will germinate in abundance. Which is why your primary objective, if you understand that the mind is an extraordinary fertile garden, is so fertile, your primary objective is to be careful of what you plant. True or true? Because you know that whatever you plant, you get back in abundance. So the point is not that it's not to plant, because you must plant. Guess what? Even if you don't plant, guess what? If you live in neglect, weeds will grow. Whether you like it or not, whether you consciously plant or not, if you don't consciously plant, weeds are going to begin to grow. And it's very difficult for you to find a positive weed. Weeds are always negative, true or true? Something must grow. Thank you, Claudia. Something must grow. So you have to consciously make sure you know what you're planting so that you can also be conscious of what you are going to reap in abundance. So you go into your garden, beautiful garden, look at flowers everywhere. It is because someone took their time to make sure that the weeds were cut out and that only beautiful flowers were planted. If the person just planted the seed and went away, guess what? There will be more weeds than there are flowers. And so what ideas are you letting into your mind? Everything that we are exhibiting right now is actually a reflection of something we once planted. So let me give you an example. The moment you begin to allow negative thoughts to cloud your mind, you begin to form a bad habit. Let us use an example. For instance, you begin to indulge in pornography. You begin to indulge in some kind of lazy habits. What is going to happen is that it is not the same rate at which you're planting you're going to harvest. As long as it is negative, gradually you are destroying yourself because the harvesting period is going to be in abundance. That's why you're going to see today adults that said that I'm sharing this. I know children are here, but it's also important that we share because we live in an age today where children are exposed to all sorts of things. We have a lot of adults whose lives have been destroyed completely because when they were younger or even as an adult, they indulged in pornography. And because they continue to invest in it, thinking that it was harmful, they didn't know that they were actually sowing seeds. I'm using this as an example because of the century we find ourselves today. So when you begin to gossip, you're planting. When you begin to speak to whichever way you speak to your child, you're planting. Positively or negatively, you're planting. And guess what? You're going to harvest in abundance. So we have to be careful about what we let into our minds. When you're on the news and what you're watching is negative, you're planting. Getting news of people that are dying, getting news of this and that and that and that and that. It is you're planting. When you wake up in the morning, what are you planting in your mind that is going to determine how your entire day will go? That's why we have the miracle morning. But some of you wake up and the first thing you do is to jump to social media. And so we are always planting. The mind is an extraordinary fertile garden. It will grow any seed that is planted and watered. Now, if you begin to grow positive seeds, guess what? These positive seeds will yield abundance of positive fruits. And the more of these positive fruits you have, the more you are connecting yourself to your purpose, to your why that you're here. The more positive seeds you plant, the more you get closer to who God wants you to be. The more negative fruits you plant, fruits like depression, like low self-esteem, like laziness, like procrastination, like comfort zone. When you begin to indulge in things that you know will destroy your life, the more negative seeds you plant, the more you are taking yourself farther away from your why you are here. The more you're taking yourself farther away from the purpose for which you were bettered. If you plant wisdom, you harvest wisdom in abundance. The more you plant negative things, the farther away you're taking yourself away, the farther away you're taking yourself to becoming who God does not want you to be. And so you always have to be careful of what we're planting. When we speak to our kids, what are we planting? Because we are always planting the future of our children based on our words, on our thoughts, but above all, based on our actions. Because guess what? The children, they won't do what we tell them to do. They will do what they say us to. So what are we planting? How are we living as examples for these kids? And when we see our kids begin to adopt negative habits, are you aware that they're also planting? How do you quickly correct it? Because if it becomes a habit, it becomes very difficult. You see parents that they are so clueless, they don't even know how to handle their kids because they allowed them to plant a seed that has become a habit. Everything you plant, you harvest in abundance when it becomes a habit. You see children that bite their fingers, they cannot stop anymore because when they were planting, nobody stopped them. It's just like addiction to anything. It was planted. And so rule number one is that we have to be careful of what we are planting on a daily basis because whenever you plant, positive or negative, it is definitely going to germinate. It is definitely going to give you in abundance compared to what it is that you had planted. Now, if you're poor, therefore, your poverty is not because of the economy. It is because of your personal philosophy. And this personal philosophy is the sum total of the things that you have planted in your mind up till now. And so your personal philosophy is a product of your mindset. So what makes you proper is not the economy. A lot of us will say, we're voting for the right president, blah, blah, blah. Who told you that one right president is going to come and suddenly your life will change? Hello. If a president makes people rich, why are there poor people in America? Why are there poor people in some of the countries where we have the best presidents? Who is following me? Why do we have poor people in countries that have incredible economies? It is not the economy that is going to make you rich. It is your personal philosophy. And your personal philosophy is a product of your mindset. There are people right now, they can never think beyond trying to get a job. That's your personal philosophy. And in most cases, it's not even your fault. Because sometimes, it's not even sometimes, as a matter of fact, all the times you're a product of our upbringing. I'm not saying this so that you now become a victim and say, oh, it's because of the way I was brought up. No, because you can change things, and I'm going to tell you how. You were born into a family where all your parents, everybody believed in getting a job, jumping from one job to the other. Believe that the only way you can prosper is to get a job, is to become a doctor, to become a lawyer, or to become an accountant or whatever. Guess what? You're going to grow up with the same mindset. True or true? It is true. There are people that have a mindset, as in, there's just a particular way of thinking, because they can't actually, you cannot do anything beyond the way you think. You cannot prosper. You cannot be richer than the way you think. You cannot feel more than the way you think. You cannot raise your kids higher than the way you think. Unfortunately. And so the quality of your life, the quality of everyone that depends on you is going to be limited to the quality of your mindset. So if you're poor, the problem is not the economy. It's your personal philosophy, how you see life, how you think about life. There's a certain way that all of us react to things. One thing can happen right now, we all react to it differently based on our personal philosophy. It's not the economy that will make you rich. There are people that can never be poor. It doesn't matter the economy. It doesn't matter if you like, bring the worst president ever in the world, bring to Nigeria, they can't be poor. Do you know that is true? Because their prosperity does not depend on government, does not depend on economy. It depends on their personal philosophy. And that is why the personal philosophy we help our children to acquire is very important, because most of us as adults today that have a very, very wrong philosophy to life, especially to money, it is actually springing up from our childhood. And that's why we have to begin to correct this with our children. What philosophies are we teaching them? If the audio is cracking, I don't think the problem is at my end. If anybody can hear me, please confirm this, so that those that have problems with their network can correct it. And so what's your personal philosophy? Who are you? What do you stand for? What is in your head? What is in your mindset? Some of us have watched Nigerian movies all our life. Our life, everything in our life is Nigerian movie. The moment anything is presented, the only solution you are thinking about is the solution you got from Nigerian movie. I know what I'm saying. There are families that watch an average of Nigerian movie, 1 or 2 Nigerian movies every day, and they can do this for 10 years. And so everything is a movie to you. Everything. And so what makes us prosper is our personal philosophy. It means that this personal philosophy has to be built. It has to be built. So everyone can hear me clearly. If you can't hear me, it's your fault. Try and correct something. So when we were born, our parents gave us a lot of, let me not use the word, the families we're born into have programmed us with a lot of negative mindsets, whether you agree or not. The families we were born into, the society, the community, the movies that we watch, everything around us is programming us negatively. I can guarantee you. Most of the things around us are programming us negatively. And so we are now sort of like victims to these programs. Your decisions cannot be higher than the programs in your subconscious mind. It's impossible. Your actions cannot be higher than the programs in your mind. You cannot feel higher than the program in your mind. You cannot think higher than the program in your mind. So what personal development does, what investing in building your mind does, is that it gives you the liberty to begin to rewrite what is going to be in your mind. I grew up, someone like me, I grew up in poverty. I've shared this story before. Up to the age of 16, I was selling on the streets. I had a poverty mindset, strict, as in I had such a poverty mindset. I never imagined that I could have money, I could be rich. Because my parents were rich, my parents were poor, my grandparents were poor, grew up in poverty. We lived in houses that had no windows. So how do you grow up from such a setting and dream of being rich? It is impossible, except there's a change in your mindset. In fact, this is the very core of poverty. This is the very reason why many people are poor. Because they cannot be richer than the program in their mind. Lady Evelyn, Lady Easy, you can't be richer than the way you think. This sounds so simple, but I pray to God you understand what I'm saying. You can't be richer than the way you think. Possible. So if there is no conscious decision to begin to change all the seeds that your parents have planted in your soil, to begin to change all the seeds that the society has planted in your soil, to begin to change all the seeds that Nigerian movie has planted in your soil, to begin to change all the seeds that the family tradition you're born into, all the crazy poverty-stricken mindsets that were given to you. If there's no conscious decision to change these seeds, guess what? Guess what fruits you're going to produce in abundance? The same fruits your parents produced, the ones their grandparents produced, the ones their great-grandparents. So it's just a recycling of poverty. I pray to God that you will understand what I'm saying. Why do you think that the rich gets richer and the poor gets poorer? The rich simply transfers the mindset of wealth to their children, yes or yes. And the poor also transmit the mindset of poverty. Can you imagine what I'm sharing with you guys? This is so important. Have you not asked yourself why you work so hard and yet no result? Why you work so hard? You're working harder than everybody you know, and yet there's no result. It is our poor thinking habits that keeps us poor. It is the poor thinking habit that keeps most people poor. Are we together? The poor thinking habit. People don't have problem with poor working habit. People have hard working habits, but they don't have hard thinking habits. Did you hear what I just said? People have hard working habits, but they don't have what? Hard thinking habits. But it is not your hard working habit that will make you rich, or that will make you happy, or that will make you do whatever you want to do. It is your hard thinking habit. But unfortunately, except you make a decision to change the kind of seeds that have been planted in your soil, you're going to continue to produce the same fruits. Chances are that if you're born into a rich family, you're going to become rich. Chances are, because even if you're born into a rich family, you can also become poor based on the changes you make, because you can begin to change the seeds into a negative seed. Yes or yes? Your parents can be rich, and before you know it, you begin to plant seeds of drugs, begin to plant seeds of all the things that will destroy your life. So the problem is not hard working. It's not that we don't work hard. The problem is that we don't think hard. And thinking hard comes from it. There has to be a paradigm shift. There has to be a change in the kind of information you're letting into your mind. If you go to an average Nigerian school, it is impossible to be rich. I'm sorry to say that. Best case scenario, you're going to compete for jobs. True or true? Best case scenario, you graduate from school, you compete for jobs. Maybe you start with a job of 50,000 naira, and then later you get a job of 100K, you leave down and go to the 100K. 5 years later, you get a job of 200K, you migrate. 20 years later, you're now earning 300K per month, and you feel like you're on top of your game. By then, you have saved enough money, you now have a car after 20 years. It doesn't matter what you studied to be. Averagely. But imagine when you begin to change these seeds, when you begin to transform the seeds and begin to invest in the most important asset that you have, which is your mind, and refuse to follow the status quo, and begin to inject new positive information into your mind, because this is the solution. I'm giving you the solution already. Injecting new positive information every single day into your mind. Because guess what? Every time you learn something new, every time a new information goes into your mind, guess what happens? Information leads to knowledge, and knowledge leads to wisdom, depending on the kind of knowledge. So when I'm talking about positive knowledge now, positive information leads to positive knowledge, and then positive knowledge leads to wisdom. People have hard working habits, but do not have hard thinking habits. Thank you, Lady Easy, for making it easy for me. That's a perfect summary. That's why you work so hard, but there's no results. I'm not saying you should not work hard. Working hard is very important. But can you think hard? But do you know how to think hard? Thinking hard is not to say, no, I want to think hard. I want to sit down. You must think. No. You think hard by letting in new information into your mind. Information that will come and break the status quo, that will come and break the cycle of poverty, that will break the way your parents thought, break the way your grandparents thought. Information that will cause a paradigm shift in your subconscious mind. Why do you think we are putting our children through or put them through? We want to give them the freedom to live the life that God wants them to live, not the ones that we have lived. When you put a child on a path of personal development and they begin to read, you don't know what books do, guys. When you begin to read personal development books, when you begin to read success stories, it means that when your children begin to read the success stories of people that are rich, they're no longer tailoring their lives based on the way you live your own life that might even still be in poverty. They are now beginning to allow information about rich people. What was their process? And then as they begin to go through this process, there's a paradigm shift in their subconscious mind. They're no longer obliged to follow the poverty-stricken pattern you followed, that your father followed, your great-grandfather followed. They now have the liberty to begin to choose to make their own, to choose the seeds they want to plant. As they allow kids to begin to read spiritual development books, they begin to have the liberty to make choices. They begin to say, oh yes, I want to go to school. I want to be an A student. I want to be the best student in my class. Yes. But at the same time, yes, I'm a 12-year-old, but I want to read an average of 2 books per week. I want to read an average of 3 books per month. Yes or yes? And as they are reading, my God, they come in front of you, your children speak. You know that even though you are 50, your 12-year-old, when they speak the wisdom, the unmistakable wisdom that comes from their mouth, you know that you didn't have that wisdom when you were 25. Even though they are 10. Because you allow them on the path of personal development. You allow them on the path of making a paradigm shift in their subconscious mind. They're allowing new information causing knowledge causing wisdom. Trust me, it is the greatest investment in the world, the investment in personal development. In other words, the investment in your mind. Because the quality of your life is a reflection of the quality of your mind. It is only when your mind changes, when there is a transformation in your mind, that is only when there can be transformation in your physical reality. Impossible for there to be a transformation in your physical reality except there is a transformation in your mind first. That is why one of the greatest gifts you can give to anybody is the gift of a transformed mindset. You can write that down. One of the greatest gifts you can give to anybody is the gift of a transformed mindset. The money, they will finish it. The car will finish. The house will finish. But when you can raise a man to have a transformed mindset, you indeed have left a legacy that will transform generations in that man. I am a product. The person I am today is thanks to my mentors. I can never forget my mentors. Papa Amy, Papa Luke, these are physical mentors that I've met. Papa Raul, we call them Papa because these are people that picked me up. I was a young boy in my early 20s when they picked me up and they started to train me. Don't talk about the incredible number of mentors that I've never met. Dr. Miles Monroe, TJ Jakes, Joel Austin. Amazing people that have transformed my life. The person speaking to you guys in a few days, it will be my birthday. But when I think about my life and I look at the quality of wisdom that people ascribe to me, it is no way in parallel with my age. Impossible. But the only secret I can tell you has led to this quality of wisdom is the fact that I invest madly in my mind. I use the word madly because I am crazy about personal development. Listen, when you invest in personal development, if you start at the age of 10, by the time you are 15, I can guarantee you can become wiser than a 60-year-old. As you are learning, you are applying. You are learning, you are applying. Learn, as in focus on the kind of information, because what happens is that as you begin to let this positive information into your mind, it goes and begins to, there's a friction in your mind. All those negative poverty-stricken things that used to be there, it begins to wipe them away. It goes into that soil, it begins to change something. The fruits, the seeds begin to change, the seeds begin to change, the seeds begin to change. And gradually, as the seeds changes, what happens? Will the fruit change or not? The fruits too begin to change. For those of you that know me, and I'm not saying this because I want you to believe in it as well, I have never believed in a job. With all the respect to all the employees here, I know when I started my first business, I was jumping around Abuja here. I would go to Gogolada, go to Kubwa. I was selling products. People insulted me. What did they not tell me? As at that time, I was already speaking 2 foreign languages fluently. My parents, my sisters, what is wrong with you? Go and look for a job. Most embassies will take you. Most this, most that, most that. What is wrong with you? But I knew what I wanted. This was my mindset. Don't forget, it is not your economy that will make you prosper. It is your personal philosophy. There's nothing they didn't do. The comfort zone would have been to get a job and just stick there. And there's nothing wrong with getting a job. Don't get me wrong, guys. But I knew what I wanted. My personal philosophy, based on the fact that I had invested so much in myself, crazily, I kept on failing. I was failing. I failed a lot. I failed for years. Honestly, the earliest you delve into the path of personal development, this is the greatest gift you can give your child. Because when we talk about personal development, it's not just about reading motivational books, guys. It's all around. Even spiritual books will develop you personally. Yes or yes. Personal development involves also eating healthy, because personal development involves building every aspect of your life: physical, mental, social, emotional, psychological, financial, having money knowledge. A lot of us are poor because we have very, very, very mediocre and lackluster knowledge of how money works. And we transfer this poverty-stricken knowledge mindset to our children. They transfer it to their children, and it's a cycle of poverty. The only way that can change is when we begin to indulge in personal development. Personal development changed my life. If you look at the most successful people in the world, how many of you listen to Jim Rohn? Listen to whoever it is. They will all tell you that their life changed the day that they started to indulge in personal development. Go and think of anybody that inspires you, whether it's a man of God or whoever. The secret is what? Personal development. What's personal development? Investing in yourself. Investing in yourself. When you see an average man of God, let me use that because that's what inspires a lot of you. They go extra mile to learn their trade, if I'm going to use that word, to learn their subject matter. Yes or yes? They know more about that more than you and I. That is why we look up to them. And so personal development is the ability to invest so much in yourself in a particular field that you become world class in that field. And when you do that, everybody begins to look up to you. When you do that, you begin to stand out. And so when everybody comes out, they begin to show their CV, they're showing their CV. What the company is truly looking for to hire is what makes the difference, is the fact that you have these extra skills. Yes or yes? I'm going to round up. We started with mindsets, and I'm just trying to explain to you that in the journey of having an excellent mindset, what is going to help you make that happen is investing in personal development. Your mindset has the assignment to ensure that your physical reality is consistent with your level of thinking. At any time you get or force a result that is higher than your way you think, your mindset fights that result until it brings you back on level ground with your way of thinking. I don't even know if anybody understands this. Your mindset has one assignment. The assignment is to make sure that your physical reality, the way, if you look at your life right now, you realize that it's actually consistent. If we look at our lives with the way we think, it's only when you invest in yourself, that is, get extra skills, that is, become more, that is when your physical reality will also increase. Everything you have right now is a result of who you are. If you want to have more, become more first. That's the secret. You don't have more before you want to become more. You become more. It is in becoming more that you have more. And so your mindset, the assignment is to make sure that your physical reality is consistent with the way you think. But if you force a result, let's say, for instance, someone comes right now, your current mindset, what fits your current mindset is 100K per month. Someone now comes down and dashes you 2 million naira. That's not consistent. And as you begin to celebrate, you are jumping up and down, giving testimony. your mindset is going to get to work because it's not, there's going to be a fight, there's a friction between your physical reality, 2 million, and your mindset of 100K. Your mindset will fight that 2 million. It will compel behaviors that will make you fight the 2 million until in the next 1 month, in the next 2 months, you either waste the 2 million or you misuse it or you behave anyhow until you come back to the 100K, which represents your current mindset because your physical reality is too high compared to your mindset. And it's vice versa. It means that if you have built yourself, why do you think that when people fall, if people truly build wealth through process and they become rich, when they fall, is it easier to get back on top or not? It's easier because the fall is only temporary. They already built a process that made them rich. And so what it means is that it is easy because the mindset does not reflect the physical reality. The mindset is also going to cause behaviors to bring you back on track to where you really are. What it also means is that you can be poor, you can be in your one room with your one stove and your one, I'm trying to describe back in the days. And, there was a time I was living in a place, one room, there was no roof. Oh yes, I was in Benin Republic, hustling for my life. I suffered so much in that country. There was no roof. There was one room given to me in the school where I was managing to teach. But every single day, I know that this environment I am in did not reflect my mindset. I was investing massively. I knew what I wanted. I was investing massively myself. Massively, massively, massively. And so I will be in that room. I'll be doing my prayers. I'll be doing whatever I'm doing. But my mindset is somewhere else. This was the attitude I always had, even when I was in university. That's how I eventually got my scholarship. When I was in university, I had a personal philosophy because I remember I told you it's your personal philosophy that prospers you, not the economy. My personal philosophy was what? If it was not worth doing, if it's not worth doing, I don't waste my time doing it. But if it's worth doing, I give my all. This was how, when we started doing languages in school, I studied English language. When we started doing languages, nobody took it seriously. Nobody took Italian seriously. But I took it seriously because I decided to do it. I wanted to be the best, and I was the best in it. So I was there in my room in school. There was no food to eat. I was sucking gari and all of that. But because I was massively investing myself, learning this foreign language nobody was paying attention to, I always had a dream of studying abroad. I knew my parents could not afford it. My grandparents cannot afford it. Nobody in my family can afford it. Everybody, as in it's a family of, you know what I mean. I knew, but I always had this dream. I always saw myself studying abroad. How? I didn't know how it was going to happen. And so my best strategy was to invest in myself. How? I didn't know. And I left the rest to God. And then I finished school. It didn't happen. I started jump hunting, looking everywhere, trying to just make sure I survived. And then one year after I finished school, I received a letter from the embassy of Italy in Abuja saying, because when you were in school, you were the best student in Italian embassy wants to give you a scholarship to go to Italy to go and learn Italian. I say, me, abroad. As at this time, mind you, I had never, if I have seen aeroplane, I've only seen airplanes in movies. I've never touched, I had never entered an airplane in my entire life. I had never been to the airport. So you can imagine that the first time I was entering an airplane was actually to travel to Europe. Mindset. And so I was there soaking my gari, but my mindset traveled ahead of me. And guess what? It reached out to me to pick me up from where I was to go and equate me to the level of investment I had made in myself. That trip changed my entire life because the moment I went to Italy and I saw what life was, I saw life beyond, there was a paradigm shift in my mind. I said, so life can be like this. Hey, I arrived the country, they were giving me 200,000 naira every month, averagely as allowance. As in, I could do whatever I want with it for the first time in my life. I went through 4 years of university. My parents did not give me 200,000 naira as allowance in 4 years. But when I traveled to Italy, they were giving me 200K per month to do whatever I want with it. And I said, so life can be like this. There was a paradigm shift. I saw life. I saw people, everyone wanted to be my friend, everybody. In those few months when I came back, there was a shift in my mindset. I think that was where I was cured of poverty. Otherwise, I would have continuously, when I came back, I think there was a shift. I was not satisfied with anything again in my life. In a positive sense, I wasn't satisfied with anything small. I think that's the right word to say. I wasn't satisfied with anything small. I started to dream big. My God, I realized that I could do it. I could do it. And then I moved into an average of 2 books per month. Moved into 50 pages per day. And then I continuously invest and invest and invest and invest and invest. This was when I became so obsessed about business. And so investing in your mind is the greatest endeavor anybody can indulge in. So children, if you're here, you're listening to me, you're very lucky. You're extremely lucky because you have the possibility of discovering this early. Now, don't make a mistake. Take your academics extremely seriously. You must fight every single day to become the best in your class because that's the champion mindset. But the point is, while you're doing that, give yourself a target, children. Make sure you're doing minimum 20 pages per day. You can do it. We have children here doing it. And that's why parents, my advice for you is that please do not allow your children to read anyhow books, because don't forget, whatever you're sowing into the soil as a seed is what you are getting abundance of its harvest. And that's why you should be careful what they are reading. What are you watching when you're on YouTube? What are you doing with your life? Because the more of what you do, that is sowing, is the more of what you harvest in abundance. Everything you let into your mind does not just go away. It comes back in abundance. So your physical reality only begins to change after you change your mindset. Your physical reality only begins to change after you change your mindset. It's not vice versa. Your mindset is what skyrockets your physical reality to the top. No matter how hard you work. If you know me, I used to be a very hard worker. Extremely hard worker. But I realized now that hard work, as important as it is not as important as hard thinking. Building my mind is going to help you work smartly. Yes or yes? So, ladies and gentlemen, the quality of our lives is a reflection of the quality of our mindset. This is not a topic to be treated in 1 hour in 40 minutes like I've done. Normally it's a topic, it's a very vast topic. We'll talk about mindset. There are different dimensions to mindset. Okay, so before we listen to our guest for tonight, because we have 2 persons that we share very briefly, 1 minute each, there's a video that I would like us to watch that will help me to share with you about mindset. So at this moment, if you've not been writing, I believe you've not been writing, but if you've not been writing, please pick up your pen and your paper, because we're going to discuss the things you're going to write from this video. Okay, please write as much as you can. And when we come back, we are going to discuss. Enjoy yourself. It is Mindset by Team Fearless. Just a second, we're almost there. Okay.
Your greatest asset, everything. Your mindset is everything. Your mindset will determine if you will make it or not. Your mindset will determine if you will be remembered or forgotten. Your mindset will determine whether you will be committed to achieving your goals when things get tough, as we all know they will, because no human goes through life without huge challenges. Your mindset is without doubt your greatest asset. It is worth more than any financial or business training. It is more valuable than any degree, any education. It is capable of earning more in 1 year than any doctor, dentist, or investor. If your mindset says, I will do whatever it takes, if that is your mindset, of course you will follow through. Your mindset is everything. There is no greater asset than yourself, your own mind. Every day you are given many choices. Take the easy road or the road uphill that leads to success. The uphill track is challenging, yes, it is tough. It will push you to your limits, but in pushing you to your limits, you will also find if you only show your courage, it will push you past your perceived limitations to growth and success. You see, nothing worthwhile in this life comes easy. If it did, as the saying goes, everybody would do it. Everyone doesn't do it. They don't do it because it's hard, because their standards are set by their peers, because they lack the courage, because their mindset is stuck in the easy road. The worst part for these guys is the easy road becomes the hard road down the track. The easy choice in the beginning leads to tough moments later in life. Nothing about the easy road is beneficial long term. If you sacrifice now, you will enjoy the benefits for many tomorrow. You see, in order to have the things that others don't, you must do the things that others won't. Are you willing? Your mindset will determine if you will fight for your goal, your dream, and your vision. Your mindset will determine if you are among the 3% who didn't give up, the 3% who employ the other 97% of people that did give up. Your mindset will determine if you are remembered or forgotten. Do you think you have what it takes? Are you going to give up, or have you got some fight left in you? If you burn the bridges, eliminate all possible forms of retreat, if there is no plan B, only your one plan A, you will achieve that which you want. If you are sleeping more hours than your competition and you truly believe you are giving it your all, well, wake up. Wake up earlier. But more important, wake up to yourself. If you know within yourself you can give more, then give more. Not when you are talking to others. When you reflect within yourself, can you give more? Can you sacrifice 1 hour of sleep? 1 more hour wasted in front of the TV? Ain't no millionaires watching soapies at 7 p.m. I give you that tip. They are grinding. They are looking for opportunity. Opportunities you are missing because you are relaxing. You are taking the easy road. The easy road ain't bringing you nothing but hard time. Do you think you have what it takes? Are you going to give up, or have you got some fight left in you?
Mindset. So you can imagine that while we're busy watching the video, a particular child here, what the only job that he had to do was to be writing and distracting everybody from listening to what we are doing. And that also shows you the quality of the mindset of such a child. While everybody was paying attention, while everybody is enjoying the movie and taking down notes, I could see the children taking down notes. So you can see the child was busy writing on the screen, disrupting and trying to, disorganize the meeting. That is what we talk about, but because that is what based on information on the child's mind, that is the best thing the child thought he or she should be doing. And so you can now see that we are slaves to the thinking. We are slaves to our thinking. We are slaves to the information in our mind. The information in our mind tells us to do this and we do it. I'm just using that as an example. You can see the child writing there, but for the child, that was the right thing to do. That's a reflection of the mindset. And then you can see other children, they were busy writing, they were taking down notes. And some of them were wondering, who is this? That child does not have to be the youngest child here. But you can see it's the quality of the information inside the mind of the child. And that is why we have to start early to put our children through personal development. Because like Lady Easy wrote here, the earlier you go on this path, every day the wiser you become. Doesn't mean you will make mistakes. Of course, you'll make a lot of mistakes. But even in those mistakes, you're going to grow tremendously. Becoming the Greatest You Academy is a school that has a product. And the product of this school is our mind. Who agrees with me? The product of becoming the Greatest You Academy is our mindset. The only objective that we have in BGY Academy, whether you are a child or an adult, is to help you transform your mindset, to give you the gift of a transformed mindset. And that is why we help you to transform your life in every aspect of your life, not just one. When you wake up in the morning, what do? You do your meditation, positive affirmation, you do your goal setting. All of these things are to transform your mind mentally. You read an average of 15, 20 minutes per day, a week together. Mental transformation, emotional transformation. Then you do your 30 minutes exercise every day. What's that doing? Physical transformation. Because guess what? You can be willing mentally. You can be willing all the leads in the world. If your physical body does not allow you, it will bring you down. One of the greatest things that can make you to lose touch of your dreams is if you're too heavy is heavy the word now. There's a physical state you can be in that will limit you, that will stop you from flying high. I can tell you. That's why exercising is very important. If you don't feel light, sometimes you cannot even think straight. And then from there, what do we tell you to do? We tell you to do 2-3 acts of love. Yes or yes, without thinking of reward every single day. Oh, children, you're lucky. And as you begin to do this every day, what are you doing? You're building your emotions, your emotional intelligence. You're teaching your heart how to love, how to serve, how to give. You're teaching your heart the most important things in the world, how to build relationships through the acts of love. And when you watch Tim Keller's videos like the one we just watched now, it's a total transformation psychologically. That is the product. The greatest product that you have in the world is your mind, and it's your greatest asset. And the greatest investment you can ever make in the whole of your life is to start early, start your children early, to begin to invest in this their mind. Going to school is important. It's going to help them build intellectual skills, help them to build cognitive skills. But I can guarantee you, if it's only school you want them to go to, at the end of the day, it will be extremely difficult for them to ever become the best version of themselves. Because becoming the best version of yourself means that you should be able to build character, you should be able to build values, build personal philosophies, build confidence, build trust, build all of these things that I've mentioned now are not taught in school. They're not in the A and Z and 1+1 that they're taught in school. As important as these skills are, because the skills they learn in school give them structure. Yes or yes? Structure is very important. All right, but these things are mentioned right now. These are the true things that are going to build your mindset, your character, your value system, your personal philosophy, your personal power. Remember, who remembers personal power? That's what builds, that is who you are. And these things are not taught in school. That is what BGY Academy gives to you. So ladies and gentlemen, we're going to listen to two persons that are going to share very briefly with us. They are members of BGY Academy, and they have been here for a while, and they're excited to share with us about their BGY journey and how this academy has massively transformed their mindset and helped them to start to lead a better quality of life. All right, the first person we are going to listen to, I'm looking for her name. Lady Martina was the name I received. Please, you might want to rename your device. If your device is not reading Martina, please rename it so that I can see you. I'll probably take the person I know more. We're going to listen to this other person who lives in Abuja, Nigeria. She is one of my favorite persons in BGY. She's so energetic. She exudes a kind of energy that I personally envy. I want to have. So maybe because I don't have the energy, that's probably why I envy her a lot. Okay, she is the team lead for the BGY book club, ladies and gentlemen, and her name is Lady Chizzy Bumi Opara. Can we put our hands together as we listen to her share briefly with us about how BGY Academy has transformed her life? Lady Chizzy, you have the floor.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much, Coach Casey. I'm so blessed by your sharing. It's really impacted me and inspired me. Thank you so much. My name is Chizzy Opara. I live in Abuja, and I am a proud student of BGY Academy. I am happy to tell you that BGY Academy has transformed my life tremendously. In my business, in all my pursuit, there's a total change. I am telling you for real, even my conduct has changed. I want to use this opportunity to thank Coach Casey for allowing God to use him to transform lives. Coach Casey, thank you so much. Thank you so much for allowing yourself to be used by God to transform lives. And thank you so much for your team. BGY has changed me, transformed me, and I have so many things to say, but I'll just say some of the brief things that BGY has changed me. The first thing is, I must confess, I've been here for just 2 months. And I used to be one person that used to be very lethargic. I am very, very lethargic. I don't follow due diligence in my business. It used to be, the process comes out really, really bad. And I'm like, what is actually happening? But now I follow due diligence and my business has been doing excellently well. Another thing is I used to procrastinate a lot. You know what procrastination means? Procrastination is a thief. There's a saying that says a stitch in time saves 9. So now I am telling you for real, I don't procrastinate because my mind is open. I read a lot. I take my time to do whatever I want to do, and I have my journaling. I'm always journaling every time. Anything I cannot do now, I always say, okay, I'll write it down, I'll go back, I reflect on it, and this is how my life has been ever since I joined BJY Academy. Another thing is low self-esteem. I used to be that kind of person that I don't have confidence in myself. I think, I can't do it. I'm not fit for it. I just leave it off and everything goes bad. But right now, this has totally changed in my life. I am very, 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 very versatile in whatever I do. I take my time, I sit down, I do everything that I need to do. I want to say thank you so much, BGY. And one thing I want to tell you that if you are an entrepreneur and you want to be the best version of yourself, I recommend BGY for you, because BGY has changed me a lot and it can change you. I want to say a big thank you for everyone that has stood strong. Thank you all my accountability partners. Thank you, Coach Casey. And may God continue to bless you and lift you higher and higher. Thank you.
Amazing. Can you all feel her energy? She has such an electric energy. It literally consumes me. Thank you so much, Lady Chizzy, for sharing your testimonies to the world. I believe that you know that just by sharing, you have lifted someone's spirit, you have inspired somebody, and maybe just your sharing can help someone tonight to begin their own journeys and begin to experience these wonders that you have experienced as well. Right, the last person you're going to listen to, I don't know if she has changed her device. Lady Easy, can you let me know what this person's name is on the chart so that we can give her the floor, because I cannot see the name that was shared with me. Please help me do that fast so that they can be unmuted and then they can speak. We have one more person that is going to share with us tonight. And I understand the person is from Delta State, Nigeria. And the person is going to share with us how BGY has inspired them. Is Lady Easy there? I need your help. Is the person connected or not? Oh, okay, Modupe is her name. Okay. Please, Lady Modupe, can you unmute yourself, please? Okay, you have the floor. So ladies and gentlemen, she's Lady Modupe.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome once again to this program. My name is Modupe Iwuna Martina. I live in Delta State. First of all, I wish to say thank you so much to Coach Casey for giving me this opportunity to speak tonight. And I also wish to thank the BGY Academy for the transformations I've experienced in my life. I actually got to know about this BGY program on Facebook. And, you know, when I saw it, I clicked on it. I knew I was in for something great in my life. Before now, I was not that type of rigidly programmed person. But when I came into BGY, I learned how to write my to-do list, and all this while being able to keep to it strictly. It makes me to be a well-organized person. I also have improved in my reading habit. In fact, I have just spent a month and some weeks, and I'm on my 4th book already. I've also learned how to set goals and to prioritize them. You know, before now, I've been struggling to write some books, and I am proud to say now that I have 2 books that are almost out now. And the major transformation that happened in my life, you know, you mentioned something about bad habits we imbibed when we were young. There is this bad habit I imbibed when I was young. I used to chew my nails, and I've been fighting with this habit for over 15 years of my life. But when I came into BGY, I was told that bad habits could be overcome, and in fact, it touched me, and I made up my mind. And in fact, if you can see my fingernails, they are growing beautifully well. I'm so happy with myself now. And it's BGY has made me to believe more in myself. It has built, more, it has helped me to build more self-confidence. I'm so happy I'm here. I feel like a family. BGY indeed is an instrument of transformation in the world through their impact in lives. In fact, it cannot be quantified. I want to tell everyone listening here that you really need to come into BGY and experience what I'm experiencing. I feel like bursting out of happiness. Everyone needs, matching in his or her life. I'm a development coach, I'm a relationship coach, but when I came in here, I discovered that I have a lot to learn. Once again, Coach Casey, I just keep praying for you. I pray that God will bless you. Bless all your efforts in impact. You might not know what you are doing now, but when the time comes, when you keep on hearing testimonies, you will know the magnitude of what you have achieved with this academy. Thank you so much for putting me on tonight.
That is so amazing. Thank you so much, Lady Martina, and thank you for your prayers as well. That means a lot to me. So guys, if you want to just say thank you, Coach Casey, there's no point even sending me the messages. Just pray for me, for God to give me the wisdom, for God to give all the leaders in BGY the wisdom and the strength, because it requires a lot of strength to be able to carry through, the mercy to carry through what we are doing. Thank you so much, Lady Martina. I am personally inspired. And thank you for your honesty, the fact that you even went so personal as to share about your finger, because now I also know that children carry that for such a long period of time. So you can imagine, we were just talking about that earlier on, that small habits that are not corrected, they are seeds that will certainly germinate. So you can imagine for how long. And I'm so happy that you're able to overcome that. Any habit can actually be overturned. Any habit, it doesn't matter how bad it is. And I'm happy that you've been able to have that transformation here in BGY. So ladies and gentlemen, we're just going to round up before I give you the floor to speak. Okay. Oh la la. Sorry guys. So I'm just going to show you. Okay, so I think we have gone to the wrong slide. I just wanted to briefly show you, for those of you that would like to have more information about BGY and how to get yourselves registered. Okay, so here we go. Just a second, please. So for more information about BGY, BGY is a personal development academy that helps you to invest in yourself, invest in your mind, like we've been sharing since morning. It's the #1 personal development platform that we have in Africa, and we are hoping that we can actually live the name that we are giving ourselves. We can live up to it, hopefully very soon. Okay, so I'm going to share with you, just so for more information, you can get numbers to reach out to and people that can help you take your next step on your BGY journey. Okay, so we have BGY both for adults and for children. It's not just for adults. We have BGY for children as well, and there are days actually on Tuesdays. So every Tuesday, we have sessions for children, as well. So get yourself ready. Every child connected here on Tuesday is your day. Get yourself ready for a massive transformation. We are preparing something really amazing. We have 2 persons that are going to be sharing on that day. We have Sophia, I think, and then 1 more person. So you guys should get yourself set. And from that sharing, we are also going to be learning about something that I believe will be able to change the trajectory of your life. So every child connected here, please make sure you're connected. And all the adults as well, make sure you invite all the parents that you know for that session so that we can really reach out to as many persons as possible. Okay, so to have more information about BGY, I'm just going to share with you. Okay, I don't think the admin have anything sent to me today, so I thought we had something set up, but apparently they have not sent the slide that I was expecting. So for more information about BGY, just meet up to those that invited you into this platform, or you can reach out to, I'm sure there's a way you got here. You either go here because someone sent you a link or because you are on a broadcast list from YouTube, from Facebook. So just reach out to those numbers and get more information. Get yourself registered. It's the end of the month, and there is no better time than now to actually get yourself registered into BGY, and then you start your program on the 1st of May, which I think is on Monday. So get yourself registered tonight. To register is 7,500 Naira per month as the promo we are currently running, or to 20,000 naira for 3 months. That's for those that are coming in for standard to build capacity. If you want to come in as VIP, it's 15K per month and 35K for 3 months. So get those information and get yourself registered. Begin your journey. If you want to learn French, speak French fast, it's 10,000 naira per month on its own and 30,000 for 3 months. But if you want to do both French and BGY together, it's just 15K per month, 35K for 3 months. And you're going to enjoy BGY and still learn to speak French fluently in 3 months. And I also have a one-on-one coaching. I have a good number of coaching students now. If you want me to have one-on-one coaching with you or with your child on different aspects of life as well, you can reach out to me. Just the channel through which you go here, go to that channel and somehow you'll get to me. You can get the fees, all right? Otherwise, you can do the group coaching with BGY Academy. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all so much for being so amazing, being so fantastic. As usual, I would like to listen to feedbacks, even if it's just 1 or 2, because time is fast spent, 1 or 2 feedbacks on today's session. If you'd like to share, please let me see your hands, because I'm seeing a couple of hands digitally. I don't know if you want to share or not. So if I can have your hand raised up like this to help me know who truly wants to share, and then we can give you the floor. So we're going to give the floor to Bumi. Bumi, if you're there, please unmute yourself and speak. Is that the Bumi I'm giving the floor to? Do we have 2 Bumis? Yes, Bumi, go ahead. Why is she not speaking? Oh, okay. If
Good
Bumi is
evening,
not
Coach
read,
Casey.
okay, good evening, Bumi.
Good evening, Coach Casey.
Good evening. Please go ahead.
I want to share something about what I've learned today. I've learned all about your mindset and what you can plant in it, that you should plant positive things inside your mindset so that your mind can become positive, and do not plant negative seeds in your mind. So that's what I learned today.
That is so amazing. Thank you so much, Bumi, for that fantastic sharing. Do we have others that would like to share? Okay, I'm seeing Sophia. Sophia, please unmute yourself and speak. I want to listen to adults as well. This is an adult session. Don't always allow children to take over your flow or take over your meetings. So I want to hear adults share as well. Sophia, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening, Coach Casey, and good evening to everyone from different parts of the world. I'm here to share what I learned from the speech today that was given. Today, I learned about our mindset and personal development. I learned that mindset is your garden, a big garden, where you plant your positive mindset and your negative mindset. So what I plan is be careful on what you're planting, because by the time it's judgment day, God will see the mindset that you have been growing and know the decision that He will give you. So you still have the time to plant good mindset, positive mindset. And if you're a parent, also make sure that you're watching your children as when they're doing things. If they're watching things that are not for their age, or they're doing things that are not good, please try your best to stop them so that they won't plant a bad mindset, and it will really help them. I also learned that your mindset is really important. Your mindset will tell you if you can achieve this goal or not, or if you are ready. Your mindset is really important in your life. If you don't have a mindset, who are you? Are you want to give up or not? God has given you this life for a reason, and you must use it very, very wisely, because it is really important for your life. If you're not using it wisely, you're just wasting your time in this life. God is disappointed if you're using it wisely. You have time. If you're a child, you have time. If you're an adult, you still have time. God gives you chances, one more chances. If you wasted your chances, it's over. So are you willing to give up, or you still have fight and confidence left in you? If you do have confidence, bring it out. Leave your comfort zone and stay in the place of positive mindsets. Thank you.
That's so amazing, Sophia. Fantastically summarized. Thank you so much. God bless you for your wisdom. Okay, Lady Esther Abraham, can we listen to you?
Okay, good evening, Coach Casey.
Good evening.
Can you hear me? Can anyone hear me?
Yes, we can all hear you, yes.
Good evening. Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you for today. Thank you for your speech. I learned a lot from today's lecture. What I learned is the quality of your life is determined by your mindset. It's a reflection of what you put in your mindset. And also, I learned that you have to be a hard thinker, not a hard worker. Hard work pays, yes, but it's much easier when you are a thinker. And also, I learned that the easy road brings nothing but hard times.
Yeah.
And I am grateful to be here, and as soon as possible, I will be on the BGY Academy.
That's so amazing. Lady Esther, where are you connecting from?
From Benin City.
Who
Lady
invited
Sarah
you?
is actually my mom.
Oh, Lady Sarah is your
Lady
mom.
Sarah.
Okay, yes. I should have guessed even from the way you spoke already. There's a there's a similarity. Okay, so it's good to have you on board. I'm seeing Anita's hands up, and I just saw Lady Modupe's and Lady Moji's comment that this young lady should lecture us one of these days, and I agree with you, Lady Moji, because the rate at which the child is going and her intelligence, we should just dedicate one session to her to come and lecture all of us. Okay, Lady Anita, if you're there, please unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, good evening, Coach Casey. Good evening to everyone connected from different parts of the world. Can you all hear me?
Yes, ma'am, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you, Coach Casey, for giving me the floor. Thank you so much. Today, I learned something new. When we started this evening on mindset, you asked a question, the 2 most important days of your life. And we're all giving our own opinions. And I want to say thank you for the insight, because most times, we just grew up to hear people say that, the day you are born and the day you die. And in this section, I've just learned that, during the course of the training, that the day you die, you don't even know what is happening that day. So the way you have lived your life is very important. That would speak on the day you die. So that's because you lived according to your purpose, because you said, the 2 most important days is the day you are born and the day you discover purpose, because that is what is going to speak when you die and afterwards. So thank you so much. I've taken that, because we're actually limited by the way we think. In our positive affirmation, it said, today I let go of all negative belief that stood in the way to my success. So I welcome a transformation of my mindset. It goes a long way, because you must welcome that transformation of your mindset for you to start thinking the way God wants you to think, the way God sees you, because even God made us to understand that we should, renew our mind on daily basis. By what? How do you do that? By reading. The more you read, the more your mind is renewed, and that will help you to discover your why, and you're able to pursue your dreams and see that those visions and dreams come true. I want to say a very big thank you, because this evening section is really a blessing for me, and I know it's also for many others. And BGY is a place that anybody that wants to leave a legacy must come here. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. Thank you so much, and God bless you.
That's so amazing. You guys, your sharing makes me feel happy, because 1.5 hours ago, before the meeting, I told you I had prepared something completely different. When I got the message, I just told God, I can't be ready for this 1.5 hours to prepare a new topic. you know, and right now I feel like I have not done justice, but your sharing is making me feel like, okay, it wasn't bad. Okay, so Lady Oladuni, can you please unmute yourself and speak? Olarim, if I murder your name, just forgive me. Yes, please.
Hello, Coach.
Hello.
Hello.
Where? Yes, we can hear you.
I learned that your mind is everything. There is no greater self than you.
Okay. Amazing. Thank you so much. Fantastic sharing. Okay, so guys, thank you also. Okay, David Afonja has been raising his hand.
That your mindset has the assignment to ensure that reality is consistent with your level of thinking.
I understand that we can sacrifice 1 hour of sleep, and also that we can. Your mindset everything.
That's so amazing. Thank you so much, guys, for your wonderful sharing. Let's listen to David Afonja now. David, please unmute yourself and speak. That's the last person.
Good evening. My name is Okwankpa Afonja from Abuja. And from today's lesson, I learned that no human goes through life without challenges, because everyone goes through some sort of challenge every time in their life. Because no one will just wake up one morning without facing any challenges. But there are different challenges. There might be financial challenges and health challenges. But we can always jump over them like a hurdle and overcome all of our challenges. That's what I learned. Thank you.
That is so amazing. We are so blessed with very brilliant children here in BGY. You want to share as well? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
What I learned from today's teaching is that you have to be careful of what you plant in your mind, because who knows if you're going to plant something bad and God sees it and he judges what he's going to do about it. So always judge things that are good. Thank you.
Amazing. Always plan the things that are good. Thank you so much, the Afonjas, for contributing to tonight's session. And I want to say thank you to all of you that have contributed in one way or the other to making this session tonight an amazing one. Thank you for being such an astonishing audience. And thank you, of course, to all the leaders from all over the world that have helped us to make this session as amazing as this tonight. Thank you, Lady Martina, for your sharing. And thank you as well, Lady Cheesy, for those wonderful sharings as well. You guys have lifted us up. For those of you that missed this session, please, you can get this from YouTube. Thanks to all of you connected on YouTube as well. And everyone that has shared tonight, you guys are simply amazing. Don't forget, on Tuesday, we're going to have our first session of the year and of the month of May, which, by the way, is my favorite month, and it's going to be for the children. And we are planning something very, very special for that day. So please, if you're what's the YouTube channel, just type KC Sunshine on YouTube, or you can ask whoever it is that sent you this link to send it to you as well, and you can get the link. All right. I was saying that we're planning something very special for Tuesday for the children. All right, so if you're a parent here, please, it's the same link we're going to use to connect on Tuesday. Send it to as many parents as possible. Let's begin the month on a high. As usual, a bird will only learn to fly will never learn to fly until the day it leaves its nest and reach for the sky. You've learned so much tonight about mindset. You have a choice to just dump all of these things on one side, or you have a chance to really make a decision to begin to invest in your mind, to invest in yourself, to begin to build the quality of your mindset, knowing very well that the quality of your life depends on the quality of your mindset. So it's time for you to leave the nest of this mindset that we've been given by our parents and society and begin to take control of building the right mindset that can help you become who you need to be, to attract everything that God wants you to be. I love you all. Have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Saturday and Sunday, and see you all on Tuesday. You are all fantastic. You are all amazing. And God bless you. Good night. Ciao. Merci. Ciao. Good night.
Good night,
Guys. Bye. Merci. Vous êtes fantastique.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. God bless you. Que Dieu vous bénisse. Merci beaucoup. Bonne nuit à vous.